I am young. I am 20 years of age, but I know nothing of life except despair, death, fear, and the combination of completely mindless superficiality with an abyss of suffering. I see people being driven against one another, and silently, uncomprehendingly, foolishly, obediently, and innocently, killing each other. I know the terrible sights from the field hospital. Soldiers who have been gassed, choking for days on end, as they spew up their burned out lungs, bit by bit. He had fallen forward and lay on the earth, as though sleeping. Turning him over, one saw that he could not have suffered long. His face had an expression of calm, as though almost glad the end had come. He fell in October 1918, on a day that was so quiet and still on the whole front, that the army confined itself to a single sentence: all quiet on the Western Front. Our natives today produce criminals and prostitutes and drunkards, not because it is in their nature to do so, but because their simple system of order and tradition and convention has been destroyed. It was destroyed by the impact of our own civilization. The judge rises, and the people rise, but not all is silent. The guilty one falls to the floor, crying and sobbing, and there is a woman wailing, and an old man crying, "Tiho, Tiho." Endashini is still in darkness, but the light will come there also. For it is the dawn that has come, and it has come for 1,000 centuries, never failing. But when that dawn will come, of our emancipation from the fear of bondage and the bondage of fear, that is a secret. I see only one hope for our country, and that is when white men and black men, desiring neither power nor money, but desiring only the good of their country, come together to work for it. Never shall I forget that night, the first night in the camp, that turned my life into one long night, 7 times sealed. Never shall I forget that smoke. Never shall I forget the small faces of the children whose bodies I saw transformed into smoke under a silent sky. Never shall I forget those flames that consume my faith forever. Never shall I forget those nocturnal silence that deprive me for all eternity of my desire to live. Never shall I forget those moments that murdered my God and my soul and turned my dreams into ashes. Never shall I forget those things, even if I were condemned to live as long as God Himself. Never. Everybody around us was weeping. Someone began to recite Kaddish, the prayer for the dead. I don't know whether during the history of the Jewish people, men have ever before recited Kaddish for themselves.